Finnegans Wake, Book 3, Episode 4. What was that? Fog was that? Tumult sleeps. Let's sleeps. But really now, runabouts, expatiate then how much times we live in, yes? So night by night, naught by night. In those good old lousy days gone by days shall we say, of whom shall we say, while kinder wardens minded their twins' bed, there now they stood the sycamores, all four of them, in the Quarternagues, the Majorque, the Minorque, the Everso, and the Fermentarian, with their ballyhooric blow reaper, tetranicked by tetranoxed, at their pussy corners, and that old-time paliola grass, playing copers fearsome with Gus Walker, the Cuddy and his poor old dying boozy cough, Esker Newcastle, Sagard grumbling, Del me donk the way to rumbling, follow me beeline you and your bumbling. Esker Newcastle, Sagard grumbling, and listening so gladded up when nice child Kevin Mary, who was going to be commandeering chief of the choir boys brigade the moment he grew up under all the auspices, Irish smiled in his milky way of cream, dribble, and onage tusted, and destabarge, frighted out when bad brat Jerry Goldolfing, who was hurrying to be Cardinal Scullion in the night refuge as bald as he was cured enough unair all the hospitals, fervid frowned down his wrinkly waist of methylated spirits, ick, and lemon-coley leaves, ick, and pulverized rhubarbarum. Icky. Night by silent sailing night, while Infantina Isabel, who will be blushing all day to be, when she growed up one Sunday, Saint Holy and Saint Ivory, when she took the veil, the beautiful presentation nun, so barely 20 in her pure coif. Sister Isabel, and next Sunday Michaelmas, when she looked a peach, the beautiful Samaritan, still as beautiful and still in her teens. Nurse Saint Tet Isabel with stiff starched cuffs, but on holidays, Christmas, Easter mornings, when she wore a wreath, the wonderful widow of 18th Springs. Madame Isa Verve la Belle, so sad but locksome in her boy blues long black with orange blossoming weeper's veil, for she was the only girl they loved, as she is the queenly pearl you prize, because of the way the night that first we met she is bound to be, methinks. Not in vain the darling of my heart, sleeping in her April cot within her singer-charmer, with her green-gage-flavoured, candy-whistle duetted to the quasi-quilt Isabel, she is so pretty, truth to tell, wild wood's eyes and primrose hair, quietly all the woods so wild in mauves of moss and daphne dews. How's all so still she lay, neath all of the white thorn child of tree, like some lost happy leaf, like blowing flower still, does fain would she anon, for soon again 'twill be when me, woo me, wed me, weary me, deeply now, even calm lay sleeping. Nouth upon nacht, while in his tumbrel watched, when have a look, see queer scenes from yon sides of the choppy punct, by his cursed bog went long the grass grows, bumping strass that hinders the pubble to pass, storing his bottle in a hole, for at wet his wuskle to stretch a crooks when, sequestering for lovers lost propertied offices, the leave things from all purges night, og in eyes, august nasty, kickers, brillers, nappers and bands, hands, boon and strumpers, sminky sticks and etiquette flaskers. One fine night and next fine night and last fine night, while Cotharine the slop in her natives, chumber cushy with dreamings of simmering, my veil the store was basking, to her pillow sleep how she thought a dog came to the downstairs dower at that hour to pierce the year, and down she went, shwit be shwat, To see was it shrips, mingerels, and surehorn, the post with her tillycrump, for himself and go esquire, or them 4 horsemen on their apocalypse, Norries, Soothbrees, Yates and Welks, and galore bit of the Saints in Hevel. There was a crike up the Sturkis, and when she was the cankle to see, Gallowhirry down and she went on her knees to bless herself, that were nogged together like Mick Juggles, as if it were the rake of the Hapsbuas or old Kong Canda O'Toole of the mountains, or his goo goose she seen, sliving off over the sawdust lobby out of the back room wanter that was everyone's in Turins, in his honeymoon trim, holding up his finger halls with a clucky in his fistball, Tucker of Davies, Tucker of Ivor Egg, for her to wished you sow belly, and the whites of his pious eye bulbs, swearing her to silence and quit. Each and every juridical sessions night, when as goodmen 12 and true, at fox and geese in their numbered habitations, tried old wireless overbroad in the juror members, whereas by referendum they found him guilty of their and those imputations of fawny colopulation with 2 of his elbow cruel correlations, on whom he was said to have joyed by anticipation when schooling them in Amon, amid grass she sat, when man was amazingly frank for their first conjugation, whose colours of standing up from the above were of a pretty carnation, but if really 'twere not so, of some deretain denutation, with intent to excitation caused by his retrogradation among firearmed forces proper to this nation, but apart from all titillation, which he said was under heat pressure and a good mitigation, without which in any case he insists upon being worthy of continued alimentation, for him having displayed, he says, such grand toleration, reprobate so noted all as he was, with his wash-leather Swedes and his smoking stump, for denying transubstantiation, nevertheless, in respect of his high-powered station, whereof more especially, as probably he was meantime suffering genteel tortures from the best medical attestation, as he oftentimes did, having only strength enough, by way of festination, to implore her, or I believe you might have said better, to complore, with complete obsecration, on everybody connected with him, the curse of coagulation, for he tells me outside Salmon's in King Street, after 2 or 3 hours of close confabulation by this pewter pint of Gilby's Goat's Way, which is in his prime constellation, albeit involving upon the same no uncertain amount of esophagus regurgitation, he being personally unpreoccupied to the extent of a flea's gizzard and eructation, if he was still extremely offensive to his 4 nostrils dilatation, still he was likewise on the other side of him for some nepmen's eyes a delectation, as he asserts without the least alienation, so praise of his fault you would make obliteration, but for our friend behind the bars, though like Adam Findlater, a man of estimation, summing him up to be done, be what will of excess his exaltation, still we think with Sully there can be no right extenuation for contravention of common sense and statute legislation, for which the fit remedy resides for Mr. Sully in corporal amputation, so 3 months for Gubbs Jeroboam, for froth whiskered pest of the park, as per Act 1, Section 2, Schedule 3, Clause 4 of the 5th of King Jock, this sentence to be carried out tomorrow morn by Nolans Volans at 6 o'clock sharp, and may the east wind and the hubbing hail bolt mercy on his 7 honeymeads and his hurly-burly growth. Amen, says the clerk. Nice by nice, by neat by nutty, whilst amongst reveries happy, gardens 9 with 20 leek clips yearlings, darters all had such a rapidling time, with gleeful cries of what is nice, toppings hounds, maid of maid for, and weeping like fun, him to be gone, for they were never happier. Who, that when they were miserable, ha, ha, in their bed of trial, on the bolster of hardship, by the glimmer of memory under coverlets of cowardice, Albatrus Nyanza, with Victor Nyanza, his mace of might mortified, her beauty fell, hung up on a nail he, mister of our fathers, she our mothereen, roo they aye, by the holy poker and blazier they are, as sure as dinny drops into the dyke. A cry off. Where are we at all? And whenabouts in the name of space? I don't understand. I fail to say. I dare see you too. House of the cedar, balm of mead, Garth of Fion, scene and property plot, stage managers prompt, interior of dwelling on outskirts of city grove too, chamber scene, boxed, ordinary bedroom set, salmon-papered walls, back empty Irish grate, Adam's mantle, with wilting elopement fan, suit and tinsel, condemned, north wall with window practicable, Argentine encasement vamp, pelmet above, no curtains, blind drawn, south party wall bed for two with strawberry bedspread, wicker worker, club sessile and cane-seated, milk and stool, book shrine without face towel upon, chair for one, woman's garment on chair, man's trousers with cross-belt braces, collar on bedknob, man's corduroy surcoat with tabrets and taces, sea-pan nacre, buttons on nail, woman's gown on ditto, over mantelpiece picture of Michael, lance, slaying Satan dragon with smoke, small table near bed front, bed with bedding spare, flag patch quilt, eiderdown design, limes lighted lamp without globe, scarf gazette. Tumbler, quantity of water, jewel pot, ticker, side props, eventuals, man's gummy article, pink, a time, act dumb show, close up, leads. Man with nightcap in bed 4, woman with curl pins hind, discovered, side point of view, first position of harmony, say ha, check action mat, male partly masking female, man looking round, beastly expression, fishy eyes, paralyped, homoplats, gazometron pondus, exhibits rage, business, ruddy blonde, Armenian bowl, black patch, beer wig, gross build, Episcopalian, any age, woman sitting, looks at ceiling, haggish expression, picky nose, trekking mouth, feathery white, exhibits fear, Welsh rabbit taint, Nubian shine, nasal faucet, turfy tuft, undersized tree kirk, no age, close-up play, call boy, Cry off tabler, her move, footage. By the sinewy forequarters of the mare Pocahontas, and by the white shoulders of Finuala, you should have seen how that smart sallow lass just hopped a nanny's gambit out of bunk like old Mother Potomac, and in 8 and 8/64 she was off door night lamp, with her billy's large limbs progering after the Queen's lead, promiscuous homebound to Fiamil la Diva Huff. His move, blackout. Circus, corridor. Shifting scene, wall, flats, sink and fly, spotlight working wall cloths, spill playing rake and bridges, room to sink, stairs to sink, behind room, 2 pieces, haying after cue, replay. The old Hamburg thing looks a thing incomplete, so it is so on its dead. But it will pawn up a fine head of porter when it is finished, in the quick time. The castle Arkwright put in a chequered staircase, certainly. It has only one squarey step. To be steady, yet not with stumbling, ere are they stalemating, backgamona, upstairs by skips and trestles, till top double corner. Whist, while, and game. What scenic artist, it is ideal residence for realtar, by hymns ingang, till tink the tunning bell that limon Mr. that bogey god be ere waked. Ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, by their Maggies in all chump. Do your eport. Shop. Please shop. Shop-a-do, please. Oh, a-do, please, shop. How ominous his house, haunted. Yes, indeed it be. Nugget of imperial measure is begrave beneath neither. Here and his naggins poured his aladam lamps, around the bloom-beard booty with the bedst, for them whom he have foredone, make me newly thankful. Make we newly thankful. Tell me something. The porters, so to speak, after their shadow stealers in the newsbaggers, are very nice people, are they not? Very all four-like telt, and on this wise, Mr. Porter, Bartholomew heavy man, a stern mackerel shirt, Hayamat Parouk, is an excellent forefather, and Mrs. Porter, leading lady, a poop ahead, Gaffney saffron nightdress, Isaby Chepalua, is a most kind-hearted messmother. A so united family, pater or mater is not more existing on papal or off of it, as keymaster fits the lock. It wed so this bally builder to his streamlined secret. They care for nothing except everything that is all porterous. Porto d'Abruzzo, isn't that terribly nice of them? You can ken that they come of a rarely old family by the costumants, and one must to forgive, one must to give, that one supped of it in all town arts, from ore to zest. I think I begin to divine so much. Only snackest me choosome. I stone us. I'm Hable.